All right, good morning, everybody. As you can see, we are not on the air right now, and that is because we too have been affected by this global IT cyber outage because of some updates to Microsoft, everything from banks to hospitals to 911 services to financial centers, media groups. A lot of businesses right now having major issues with their IT as a result of this. So we're working on getting.
I honestly don't know why everyone is acting so surprised about this cyber outage. I mean, they've been telling us that this was their plan for years now. They have not been hiding it at all. They've been right out here in the open, especially ever since the beer bug lockdowns a few years ago, around 2020. So at least for the past 4 years, the elites, the powers that be, they literally come on stage at the World Economic Forum and they tell you their plans. They've said it time and time again that the next global event will be cyber outages, cyber attacks. And the cyber outage that we saw today, ladies and gentlemen, they're claiming that it is the biggest cyber outage in the history of the world. This is some wild stuff. We've never seen something on this level before. This was something that affected the entire globe. It didn't just affect one state, one city, one country, one continent. No, all around the world, there are people in every corner of the earth that have been affected by this. Unless you're like an indigenous Amazon tribe member that hasn't come out of the jungle your entire life. If you're not one of those people, you've definitely been affected. But as I was saying, I don't understand the surprise here because they've been telling us. And at some point, you kind of got to start putting the blame on yourself. And I don't mean necessarily you watching this video. But when you're out here getting caught off guard by stuff like what's happening right now, you can only blame yourself. Because at the end of the day, the warnings are there. At the end of the day, when it comes to all of this cyber stuff that's going on, they have been talking until they're blue in the face about it. Let's go ahead and roll this clip and then I'll be right back.
But still, pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Old Schwab, leave it up to old Schwabby boy to sit out there blatantly in everyone's face telling you the evil plans that the government elites have in store for us. Oh, Schwabby boy loves to do this. He's like a freaking supervillain. And the fact that he comes out and gives these speeches and people have the audacity to sit here and pretend as if they ain't already told us what's about to happen, folks. They've told us time and time again, when they talk, you need to listen. Okay? Not because they're elites and they reign over us, but because they've grown so cocky that they're not afraid to tell you what they're about to do well in advance. But as of right now, there are so many different businesses affected. There are so many banks down. In fact, here's just a few of the banks and apps that are affected currently. Visa, ADT Security, Amazon, Chase Bank, Charles Schwab, TD Bank, Bank of America, ADP, ASB, Kiwi Bank, Commonwealth Bank, Bendigo Bank. Now, I don't know about you guys, but literally after seeing this news and seeing how widespread this was at like 4 something in the morning. All right, when this news started breaking, I went ahead and went to the bank and I got just a little bit of money out. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking all of my money out of the bank, but people's bank cards stopped working. People weren't able to withdraw cash. People's credit cards weren't working. So a lot of people have been stuck in limbo and they can't buy anything because, hell, most people these days don't carry cash. It's all on an app somewhere. And when something like this happens, you're not going to be able to access those funds, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not trying to cause a stir. I don't want you all to make a bank run. That's the last thing we need right now. But you might want to go withdraw a few dollars to make sure you got enough cash to get you by a couple of days, just in case this thing gets weird. But yeah, like I said, I went ahead and went and made a withdrawal around 4:30 a.m., which, by the way, I was reporting on this news, one of the first people to report this news over on X. So if you haven't already, you need to be following me over there. What are you doing? You're missing out. Plus, I do updates and news stories from around the world. I don't discriminate. So one day I'll probably be talking about something that affects you in your area. So go follow me over there. But not only are the airlines experiencing issues, not only is it the banks and the department stores, hospitals have been some of the most, when you have, like, let's say you want to take out a few dollars to go to the flea market and you can't because of the cyber crash. All right, big deal. Okay, whatever. Let's say your flight gets delayed. That sucks. It sucks so bad. But you'll be okay. You'll live. There are people who were scheduled to go into surgery, and now they're on a standstill. There are people who need medications, who need their prescriptions, who can't get them. This has caused straight chaos to erupt at hospitals all around America. In fact, appointments were canceled at most hospitals in America. Have had to cancel some appointments at the very least. We know that staff in New York and Boston reported difficulties accessing medical records, and they're having a very hard time managing their critically ill patients. One staffer from a New York City hospital says, "Every day we have a plan that's mapped out really carefully. That's all blown up now." So, you have people who were scheduled for surgery early this morning, and now they're SOL until they figure out what's going on here. You got all of these medical emergencies that are taking place. You got people, coming into the emergency room. They don't know how to handle this situation because, we live in the digital age. And when something like this happens, you got to go back to the good old days. You got to go back to pen and paper. And a lot of people don't know how to act when you got to go back to your when you got to work without technology, work without a computer. A lot of people, they don't know a world where you have to just simply rely on yourself. Most people don't know a world like that anymore. And you can't really blame them because all of the advancements in technology, it makes it to where you don't have to do as much as you used to. But Elon Musk has spoke out about this, and he basically stated the antivirus was the virus in this situation. Because the cybersecurity company that is behind this entire epic freaking meltdown, they're claiming that an update is what caused all of this. I want you to think about that for a moment, folks, and let it sink in. A routine update from a cybersecurity company known as CrowdStrike. A routine update just shut down the entire world. Because if what they're claiming is true, this is not a cyber attack. This was an update, a faulty update gone wrong that has caused all of these systems and computers to crash. But if a small mistake can cause all of these problems, imagine what an actual attack would do. Also, when we're saying, when I say the words mistake, I don't know if I even really mean that, because part of me, a lot of me, almost all of me, believes that this is fishy. And I say that because of the timing of things. I mean, the whole world is in just complete disarray right now. They just tried to assassinate Donald Trump a few days ago. Now we have the biggest cyber outage the world has ever seen. And I just feel like there's a real effort here to just throw us all into chaos. They want complete chaos because they can't win. And as I pointed out earlier in this video, you saw some of the warnings for yourself if you haven't seen them already. This is something they've been planning on. This is something they've been working on. And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's not something that I just personally think. This is what they're telling us out of their own mouth. And that's why I said earlier, I don't understand why people are surprised. I wake up every day expecting a cyber attack or something, simply because they've been talking about it so much. The elites have been talking about it, alluding to it for so long. They've just, every time you turn around, they're talking about something like this happening. And it's almost like a new technology, a new thing that they can do to control us, a new power that they have over us that they can implement at any time. They could just go, boop, boop, cyber outage, we're going to shut down the whole world today. And you have to understand how this affects the economy as well. Billions upon billions upon billions of dollars are being lost right now, and probably flowing into people's pockets where where the money doesn't belong. But that's a story for another day. For now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.